I never imagined I'd hear the word ungrateful spit at me during my mother's funeral, but Aunt Karen never missed her moment. Her lipstick barely smeared from crying. She leaned close and hissed it while hugging me for the crowd. That was her game, grief wrapped in performance. I smiled back, too stunned to react, clutching the old diary my mother left me. I should have walked away then, but I needed answers, and Aunt Karen was the only one who never wanted me to find them. I was 10 the year Aunt Karen forgot my birthday. The cake I saw Grandma Ellen prepare vanished by evening. Instead, Karen threw a grand dinner for David, 2 days early. I watched from the hallway, uninvited, as she toasted his bright future. Grandma tried to comfort me later, slipping me a piece of the missing cake and whispering, "Your light scares her." I didn't understand then, but I kept the cake wrapper, tucked into the back of the diary, proof that erasure wasn't an accident, it was tradition. In college, I wrote Grandma Ellen every week. When she stopped replying, I assumed age had stolen her strength. It wasn't until after her passing that I found a drawer in Aunt Karen's study, full of my unopened letters, bundled with string. Some were torn, others marked return to sender, in handwriting that wasn't Grandma's. I held them to my chest, nauseous. Aunt Karen always said Grandma was too tired to talk, but she wasn't tired. She was silenced, and suddenly, the diary I once treated as sentimental felt like my only weapon. At the reading of the will, Aunt Karen's voice trembled just enough to appear sincere. There was a draft, the lawyer said, but no final copy signed. Mom's assets defaulted to Aunt Karen as next of kin. My stomach knotted. Weeks before her death, Mom told me she'd finalized everything. The lawyer shrugged, citing missing paperwork. David glanced at me, then quickly away. I wanted to scream, but I stayed silent. Aunt Karen patted my shoulder like a victor. The diary, now hidden in my suitcase, felt heavier than ever. What else had she erased while wearing that delicate smile? I cornered David later that evening, away from the guests. "You knew about the new will, didn't you?" I asked. He didn't deny it, just looked down at his drink and muttered, "It's complicated." Complicated? My mother's voice had been erased, her intentions buried. I wanted to shake him, force clarity into his spine. But then he added, "Karen said it was for the best, less confusion." I walked away before I screamed. Upstairs, I flipped open the diary, its pages pulsing with truths yet to surface. One entry was bookmarked. "If I die before I speak, let Sarah read this." Mom's final words weren't spoken out loud, but they were written just for me. Watch the full story to see what she left behind, and why Aunt Karen tried to bury it.